All right, so Paul, obviously the final outcome, pretty lopsided.
Yep.
19 threes. I want to start with the threes. Obviously, you guys have the philosophy you have. I want to know how much of that just wasn't, you guys weren't able to change because it hasn't been a whole lot of time since Carlton's situation developed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to change that, or is that just a byproduct of what you guys do defensively?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if the attempts were inordinately high. They just made a lot of them, particularly in the second half. The attempts were actually down in the second half. They weren't missing. I think obviously there's some ones that we left them open, particularly early in the game. We started out in a zone press that I regret. It was, going into the game initially when we were game planning for it. I just wanted to get back and, not get too extended with their speed. And by game time, we kind of talked ourselves into staying with it, and that's on me. I told the guys at halftime and post game, I'm to blame for their part of their rhythm early on, and we just couldn't get them out of rhythm the rest of the game. Excellent 3-point shooting team tonight.
How much of this though tonight you take the blame for the defensive plan, at least early? How much of this tonight's a team that just looked to me pretty flat, pretty lethargic? They didn't look ready.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's easy to point to that, particularly with the 3-point numbers the way they are. I think sometimes those can skew how games are. I think we had a home win against Grand Canyon and everyone was excited. We made a lot of threes. 3-point shots being made sometimes make you feel a lot better about yourself, and missing sometimes make you feel a lot worse. And we had a lot of really good looks tonight that just didn't go down from three. Same thing happened at San Jose, unfortunately. And I think the reality is any team down 3 really key starters, it's hard to work through that and dominate a game on the road. Now obviously we didn't come close to that, but we just got to work through it.
All right, you guys are down, Carlton. You guys are down, JJ. Was I forgetting somebody with Vance in the second half? Let me go there actually before I forget. I mean, Vance's situation, I saw him warm up in the second half. I didn't see a limp, but I saw him get wrapped pretty quick. What happened to him?
I think we're waiting to just get him to a doctor. He obviously was checked out here, wasn't probably comfortable enough. Even me, I just said it's not worth it right now to risk something. I'd like to get him looked at, maybe an MRI, see where things are at to get kind of a clean bill of health before I threw him back out there.
All right. As far as the start goes, I want to get back to the start of the game. They get Corey 2 fouls in the first 4.5 minutes. That's about as bad as you guys could have hoped for, I would think, with Carlton out. Is that about right?
It is. Unfortunately, the offensive end is kind of, you're trying to keep him out of foul trouble on defense, but they load up so much on him and Jaquan right now. They're really just forcing these other guys to make shots, and especially with Vance off the floor, it kind of makes those other guys really important to our offense, and particularly Jaquan and Corey, because when those guys catch the ball, I mean, it's literally 5 guys around them forcing us to make open shots, and it was very similar, unfortunately, what happened in San Jose.
All right, no rest for the Weir. You guys have a game three days from now, but you guys do go straight there. You don't go back to Albuquerque. By staying out, does that in some way give you guys a chance to change anything? And do you plan to change anything now that you have a little more time?
Yeah, I mean, I think Vance will have a little bit to do with that, and just kind of what his status will be. Obviously, if he's out, then we will have to examine some more changes. I've never wanted to go too drastic, even as this has unfolded, because we have been winning and we have been successful, and I don't want to go away from something, but obviously tonight is eye-opening on some different levels. At the same time, you watch the film, you talk with players, you talk with coaches, we see where we're at, and we'll just kind of take it from there.
All right, last two. Zane, let's see, 17 points, 4 assists. I mean, if you're looking for at least an individual bright spot, I would think him, maybe some of the guys late in the game.
Yeah, I thought Emmanuel was terrific. And, I told a lot of those guys in those last, I think, 3 medias, hey, this is your chance, man. This is your chance to show me, to show your fans or your family or whoever, doesn't like your playing time. This is your chance to really go and do stuff. And quite honestly, I thought Emmanuel was the only one that really went out there with didn't feel sorry for himself, wasn't pouting, just went out and really played hard and active. And I'm so happy for him, and hopefully that's going to mean more minutes for him going forward.
I do want to ask one more on the defense. Them 27 assists is an unreal number. That's hard to do, and you guys haven't had that necessarily a whole lot this year. I don't think you guys.
No, we haven't. You're right. I think the turnovers obviously were a big part of it. We turned the ball over, and man, they made some shots. I mean, I get how everybody feels. I even told our players, like, there's a lot of things that can get exaggerated from the fact they made a lot of shots, and players that historically have not made some shots made some shots. It wasn't like it was one particularly great shooter that went off for a great night, and that's on us. I mean, it was top to bottom. They just shot the ball terrifically well, and and those are going to happen. And it's happened the other way, and obviously won us some games, and tonight lost us a game.
I did ask after San Jose State if, when at that time you didn't have JJ and you didn't have Carlton, if you guys are good enough to still be a top 2 or 3 team in the Mountain West. Right now, do you feel like you guys are, now that you know you won't get Carlton back, you still don't have JJ?
I mean, look, I don't think anybody really knows exactly how this team's going to unfold right this very minute. I think it's a good question. I think it's a honest question and something we're going to have to answer. I hope not, probably like I told you then, but I don't know if there's very many teams that can be down 3 starters and still have the initial expectation everybody had. It's going to be a question of those other guys and what they're capable of doing. And unfortunately, I don't know that answer. I don't know if a Keith McGee or a Vontae Hendricks or a Tavian Percy or an Emmanuel Quach or whoever are capable of filling that void, and hopefully they are.